And they sleep beneath the limbs, while we sing these morning hymns, as the dead embrace the land in the earth's embalming hand. Wooden gravestones standing tall by the sorrow's weary hall. Are the leaves now bearing fruit? Will the dead now follow suit? Are the Alfar nature's meat food the ravens meant to eat? Why do soldiers hang like tears? Why Tuatha covet fears?
So, you were the mortal. There were whispers that Bizarane had I forget myself. Bizarane has made his wishes clear, and we must do as he asks. I am Tybri. I have only 2 centuries to my name. I can hear them. The sorrows in people. The essence of decay and ruin that precedes winter. I can even hear the sorrows. Few delvers are left who can hear any sorrows at all, but never have any claim to hear them as much as I. Many believe me. The Midden was once a sacred place for the House of Sorrows, for all winter fae, where the bodies of the dead were left to decompose. Our bodies do not rot as mortal corpses do. So when Saturnin placed the bodies of scavengers and beasts now roam the Midden, and the body we seek is deep within. Farewell.
hanging gallows tree, spreading baleful tyranny, ruined terror of the war, hallowed ground for nevermore.
I have waited for you, mortal. It is not the nature of my kind to anticipate. And yet here I am, with these emotions. I have only just awoken in this plane, and yet I find change, chaos run. The Winter Realm is racked by war, my people's magic in decline, and mortals scurry over my homeland. A travesty that I must right one more. There is an order to all things. Summer to winter, growth to rot. So what has happened while I slept is an affront to nature. The Fae, the Winter Court is sundered. If these Tuatha care not for the natural order, then I shall restore it. And so you arrive. That you made it all the way to this chamber, or perhaps I won't kill you outright. The strongest I keep on the edge of life, to use their energies to sustain this place, to rebalance the scale. The world has changed, mortal. You have heard it said before. The long winter was birthed by my fallen kind, and though it may one day, I only hope there will be a time for healing, and that when I... The jester of the King of Winter, the fool who made a mockery of life, of everything, languished in a discontent. He heard the whisperings of power, felt its pulse. He saw visions of an endless winter, of a totality of nothingness. He was Gadflow, and he would follow the cycle no longer.
is over then. The headsman will I hate this place. That it might drive a soul to think butchering us was some kind of justice. We don't have much to offer, or rather, much to spare. But please, accept whatever reward we can give you. Goodbye.
Have you made progress? Thank the gods you were able to recover the reconnaissance the Venris carried. This information, when the Tuatha tossed Venris in here, I feared all might have been lost. But thanks to you and his wolf, the armies take this. It is not much, but it is what we can offer, along with our... Thank you for recovering this information. It is not much. We need to make sure we stay away from the Tuatha's movements. All information... Farewell!
You have returned. Have you had any luck recovering earrings from the bodies of our lost? Very well. If you find you have time to look for more, I can always go with the gods.
Do not be alarmed, young one. Not all of the Winter Fae have joined the ranks of the Tuatha. Even here, the Tuatha created death and destruction. When they summoned Baelor, it will be a long time before anything grows in the charred path he left behind. I did not join the Tuatha when they came, even as other that I cared for fell under their spell. The great cycle and the balance are what I follow. I do not understand them or their new god. My friends among them have become... They are cruel and distant now, fanatical in their beliefs. I am awaiting the return of my beloved, Alea. She fell under the spell of the Tuatha and marched north with their vile army. Among them she perished. I wonder, could you help me with a small task? I need this ring placed inside of a hut. I am forbidden from entering Ranil. When Alea fell under the spell of the Tuatha, I tried to convince her that it was... But her belief was fanatical. She banished me from her presence, and that... Thank you, mortal. Alea's hollow is called Ranil. There is a small altar at its bottom. I wish to show Alea that my love has remained true, and that I wait for her still. My beloved, we have always been together through, but with the coming of the Tuatha, she changed. She no longer cared. I tried to convince her to return to the cycle, but she wouldn't listen. She marched with the Tuatha army to Melsenshir and fell. Ranil is a Fey hollow on the southern edge of the Keening. It is where Alea returns after each turn of the Great Cycle. Go to Ranil. It's a hollow on the southern edge of the Keening. By doing so, we shall demonstrate to Alea that my love for her remains true. Farewell.
The High King Mathon ruled the bleak, silent fields of Wintertide. He kept the season as it should be. The blizzards howling, the skies filled with snow in the gloom of a long night. He purified the land under a white blanket and allowed death to end the slow decay of autumn. The woods paid homage in leaves. The waters paused at his arrival. The world revered him in a barren stillness.
I came to this swamp expecting a host of diseases. The Mergen and Banshane are everywhere. Never seen anything like it. I've never seen one, but all of the wounded who fought them come back with severe burns, like they've been struck by lightning. I was once a star pupil in the Scholia Arcana, bound for greatness. One happy to treat any wounds or diseases. I know it sounds odd, but I'm almost glad to be out here in the swamp. There was something strange going on. The soldiers come back from the swamp riddled with holes from the Mergen's blasted tridents. Go catch a disease, would you?
You there! The hero of Melcent-Shire? We couldn't have picked a worse time to travel in the drowned forest. Disgusting creatures. I never dreamt I'd end up in one of their swamps. There's something about the water in this swamp. Every year, Banshane and Mergen come swarming back. Ooh, I shudder just thinking about it. I had resigned myself to death before that final battle. When Baelor fell, the spawn of Banshane. You'll find them. Those tridents they carry pierce steel like it was paper. I joined the Alpha army right before we took back. My captain fell during the siege. Afterwards, I was promoted and put in charge of securing the road. It's all these damn Mergen. They're filling the swamp and tearing my men to pieces. If you could lend us a hand and destroy any Banshane you find, I'd be... I know it's disgusting to imagine, but Banshane are... Every year they return to this swamp and a new wave of Mergen... Thank you. They seem to be coming from... Find the Banshane and destroy them. Be wary, they're always guarded by more Mergen. The Banshane to the west need to... They're spawning so many Mergen. The swamp's over... Tread cautiously. You there!
Down here, just...
The insects must smell blood. I'm being eaten alive.
Until one night, when nature changed its course, and Gadflow, like an errant thread frayed from the weave, took the crown from Mathon's head. "A joke," he said. "A joke." And the court swayed in laughter. For Gadflow's was often like the mockingbird, with many calls, but none of his own. He placed the crown upon his head, and smiling, took a crimson sword. He betrayed the Fae with a swing of his newfound freedom.
Have you perchance met an Almain around here named Deod? The damned fool got himself dragged off by Morgan. I'm a field researcher for the librarium in Edessa. I travel and acquire items for if the disease and wildlife don't kill you. The Morgan will, as you've realized. If you've come this far, it's a dangerous swamp. I hired him as a porter from the Rethier docks. It was, of course, the instant we're in sight of the castle. Morgan ambushed us and made off. I hadn't expected to be delayed there for so long. It was just impossible to sneak through the opposing lines before the nasty creatures. They exploded out of the water and snatched Dea. I am on an important mission for Templar Julius Mavern. He sent me to recover. Things haven't gone entirely to plan. I got stuck in Melsenshire for what seemed like an attempt. Would you help me out for a bit? I'll pay you for your time. I'm afraid I don't know the exact date, only that it is small and easy to carry. It must have been built by fools, constructed right in the middle of a Morgan breeding ground. Didn't take long for the Morgan to move in and make a feast of the original owner. Great. First, please Deod was carrying it when he was captured. I'll meet you at the entrance to Bunloch once you've retrieved. No one has lived there for centuries. Not surprising, since it was built in the middle of Morgan breeding ground. My employer is a collector of... He's very secretive and keeps to himself. But I suspect Deod was carrying it when the Morgan... They dragged him off to the north.
Faithful, a child of dust is here for death. Grant this pitiful wish. Watches over you, blesses you with her unwieldy rage. No longer shall we tolerate the mortals and their vile presence in our world. The undying mortal from the... Your mere existence is an abomination against all things. How can you not see this? Mortals pervert the world, twisting it to their own ends. Your unnatural new life, but Tiernok the Merciful chose me to be the cure. I...
There are rumblings in the Court of Winter. There are Fae who are preaching beyond a world of rot. They fly in the face of sorrows, the cycles. They do not honor our tradition, but they are wrong. There is no winter without death. There is no growth without decay.
It is the hero of Melson Shear. Care to take a look at my wares? Another interested in a trinket or a gem? It is the hero of Melson Shear. Care to take a look at my wares? Another time, then.
stole the secrets of magic. And now they come to take our land. But all that they find here shall lead to death. You struggle against the force of a simple army. How will you fare, I wonder, against the power of a god? Of course you aren't. You may be a foolish, unclean sin. The only solution is for you to be cleansed when Tiernok the Merciful.
Hail, adventurer. I am Bruin the Bard, spinner of story. These brave soldiers, the finest of the Alfar armies. But there is still adventure to be had, so join me. If not, then I bid you fair warning. Your journey shall be far less a wise question, and a fair one. As Bard of the Gastia Court, I know all the tales. Allow me the pleasure of your company, and I will lead you through these luxuriant lands. I had a good feeling about you. Someone who cherishes a good story. Let us proceed. Alas, there is one small problem. That area is favored by our enemies. Brune was the name given to me by my mother, a lovely daughter of the full moon. Long ago, I was the court bard of Castle Gastia, the teller of tales, the spinner of stories. Lord Aaron Gastia was a very wealthy lord and a powerful landowner. I don't care to... This lush land was once the royal domain of two great Alfar families. For centuries, the two houses warred over the coast. And so the Bolgan came and conquered. The houses fell before them. One might... The wonderful gentlemen and ladies of the Alpha armies have been kind enough to act as my lord. Without these good, hearty folk, I never would have survived. We must clear the spot ahead of Bolgan. It is a famous place, and they sell... with their presence. Goodbye.
Well, I expected to see a lot of things out here in Cape. I am Sergeant Odai, twice decorated officer and now civilian. Oh, I never should have ended up here. My family's ship was tossed into the Ancillas saved me. They raised me as one of their own. I may not be native to these lands. No one has called me by my given name in years. I used to be a healer, but lost my gift. So I took up a sword. It was all I could do. We all need to carry our own weight. I have allowed 2 citizens to travel within my unit, which I probably should not do. But I have... Oh, Brune the Bard is not so bad. I actually knew him as a kid, if you can believe that. I cannot say the same about Alof the Hunter. Strange sort, that one. Farewell. Someone told me that...
Through the woods and mountainside, through the hollows and green meadow, through the summer, winter, day and night, through the hallowed halls of seasons and song, through the vengeance, pride and sorrow, echo the footfalls of the greaves of the Fae Hunter.